You might think your blurry vision starts in your eyes. But what if I told you the truth is far more surprising and a little unsettling? Every time you struggle to read a sign, squint at your phone, or feel the world fading into a fog, the real culprit isn't sitting behind your eyelids. It's hiding deep inside your brain. And until you understand what's really going on up there, no pair of glasses, no eye drops, and no surgery will truly fix it. Here's what most people don't understand. Your eyes are simply cameras. They capture light and send signals. But it's your brain that actually creates the images you see. When your vision becomes blurry, unclear, or distorted, everyone immediately assumes the camera is broken. But in reality, it's the processor that's malfunctioning. After age 60, something devastating starts happening in your brain. The neural connections responsible for processing visual information begin to deteriorate. Not because of disease or injury, but because they're not receiving the specific nutrients they need to maintain their function. Your visual processing system is like a high-performance sports car. It needs premium fuel to run at its best. But most people are feeding it regular gasoline and wondering why the engine is sputtering. The brain uses more energy than any other organ in your body, and the visual processing centers are among the most energy-hungry parts of your brain. When these areas don't get the nutrients they need, they start to shut down gradually. The result? Blurry vision that no prescription glasses can fix. But here's where it gets interesting. There are specific nutrients that can actually reverse this process. Not expensive supplements or complicated treatments, but simple, natural compounds that you can find in any grocery store. Vision problems and brain fog are often the same problem manifesting in different ways. Both are signs that your brain isn't getting the nutrients it needs to function optimally. The first breakthrough came when I understood the role of blood flow in visual processing. Your brain needs a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered through your bloodstream. After age 60, circulation to the brain naturally decreases. This reduced blood flow particularly affects the visual processing areas, leading to that frustrating blurry vision that seems to come out of nowhere. But there's something else happening that's even more insidious. Chronic inflammation in the brain actually interferes with neural communication. It's like having static on a radio signal. The information is trying to get through, but the message becomes garbled. This inflammation doesn't happen overnight. It builds up slowly over years, often triggered by poor diet, stress, environmental toxins, and the natural aging process. By the time you notice vision problems, this inflammation has been silently damaging your neural pathways for years. The good news is that your brain has an incredible ability to heal and regenerate, even later in life. Given the right nutrients and conditions, those damaged neural pathways can be restored. New connections can form, and yes, your vision can actually improve, sometimes dramatically. Think about all the times you've experienced temporary vision changes. When you're exhausted, stressed, or haven't eaten properly, doesn't your vision sometimes seem less sharp? That's your brain struggling to process visual information efficiently due to temporary nutrient or energy deficiencies. Now imagine that happening chronically, day after day, as your brain becomes increasingly starved of the nutrients it needs. That's what's creating the persistent blurry vision that glasses can't fix. The solution isn't more prescriptions or stronger lenses. The solution is giving your brain what it needs to process visual information clearly again. And the 3 specific nutrients I'm going to reveal to you have the power to transform not just your vision, but your overall cognitive function. These aren't exotic compounds or expensive supplements. They're simple, natural nutrients that work synergistically to restore proper brain function. When you combine them correctly, something remarkable happens. The fog lifts, both literally and figuratively. But before I reveal these 3 game-changing nutrients, you need to understand why most people fail to see results, even when they know what to take. The problem isn't lack of information. The problem is that most approaches treat the symptoms instead of the cause. You could take every eye supplement on the market, but if your brain isn't functioning optimally, your vision will continue to decline. That's why this brain-centered approach is so revolutionary. We're finally addressing the real problem. The first nutrient in this powerful combination works by improving blood flow to the brain. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching those crucial visual processing centers. Within days of starting this protocol, most patients notice their mental clarity improving along with their vision. The second nutrient is a powerful anti-inflammatory compound that helps reduce the chronic inflammation that interferes with neural communication. As this inflammation decreases, the static clears, and visual signals can travel more efficiently from your eyes to your brain. But it's the third nutrient that really amazes people. This compound actually helps regenerate damaged neural pathways, essentially rewiring your brain for better visual processing. Patients often tell me it's like someone adjusted the focus on their entire world. When Margaret first heard about this approach, she was skeptical. Like most people, she assumed that vision problems required eye treatments. But she was desperate enough to try something different. And that decision changed her life. Now at 74, Margaret reads for hours without fatigue, drives confidently day and night, and has maintained her independence. More importantly, she's discovered that improving her brain health has enhanced every aspect of her life, not just her vision. The truth is, what Margaret experienced isn't unusual. It's actually predictable when you understand how the brain works. But here's what shocked me the most about this discovery. When I started helping patients restore their vision through brain health, I noticed something unexpected happening. Their memory improved. Their concentration sharpened. Some even told me they felt more energetic and optimistic than they had in years. That's when I realized I hadn't just found a solution for blurry vision. I'd stumbled onto something much bigger. You see, the same neural pathways that process visual information are interconnected with the areas of your brain responsible for memory, focus, and cognitive function. When you restore health to one area, you naturally improve the others. It's like fixing the electrical system in your house, and suddenly all the lights work better. This connection explains why so many people over 60 experience both vision problems and memory issues simultaneously. They're not separate conditions. They're different symptoms of the same underlying problem, a brain that's not getting the nutrients it needs to function optimally. Let me tell you about Robert, a 78-year-old retired engineer who came to see me. His vision had deteriorated so much that he'd stopped reading technical journals, something he'd enjoyed his entire career. His family noticed he seemed confused more often, forgetting names and appointments. Multiple doctors had told him this was just normal aging. His eye doctor said his prescription was as strong as it could go. His family physician suggested he might be developing early dementia. Robert felt like he was watching himself fade away piece by piece. But when I explained the brain-vision connection to Robert, something clicked. As an engineer, he understood systems. He realized that trying to fix his vision by only looking at his eyes was like trying to repair a computer by only examining the monitor. Robert started the nutritional protocol I'm about to share with you. Within the first month, he noticed he could read technical specifications more clearly. By month 2, his wife commented that he seemed sharper during conversations. By month 3, Robert was back to reading complex engineering papers and had started consulting on projects again. What happened to Robert isn't miraculous. It's simply what occurs when you give your brain the specific nutrients it needs to repair and regenerate neural pathways. The science behind this is solid, but somehow it's been overlooked by mainstream medicine. Here's why this matters so much right now. Every day that passes without proper brain nutrition, more neural connections are lost. Think of it like a garden. Stop watering and fertilizing, and the plants don't just stop growing. They start dying. The same thing happens to the neural pathways in your brain. But just like a neglected garden can be restored with the right care, your brain can regenerate even after years of decline. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, and it's one of the most exciting discoveries in modern medicine. Your brain can literally rewire itself at any age. The key is providing the specific nutrients that fuel this regeneration process. Not just any nutrients, but the exact compounds that your visual processing centers need most. And here's something fascinating. These nutrients work better together than they do individually. This is called nutritional synergy. Each nutrient enhances the absorption and effectiveness of the others. It's like a perfectly orchestrated symphony, where every instrument makes the others sound better. The first nutrient in this powerful trio addresses circulation. Your brain uses 20% of all the blood in your body, despite being only 2% of your body weight. The visual processing areas are particularly demanding, requiring constant blood flow to function properly. As we age, this circulation naturally decreases. Blood vessels become less flexible. Circulation becomes sluggish. The result is that your brain, especially those energy-hungry visual centers, doesn't get the oxygen and nutrients it desperately needs. But this first nutrient acts like a natural circulation booster. It helps blood vessels relax and expand, allowing more nutrient-rich blood to reach your brain. Patients often tell me they feel more alert within days of starting this protocol, even before their vision improves. The second nutrient tackles inflammation, which is perhaps the most overlooked factor in vision decline. Chronic inflammation in the brain creates a fog that interferes with neural communication. It's like trying to have a phone conversation with a bad connection. The information is there, but it gets distorted. This inflammation doesn't just happen overnight. It builds up gradually, often starting in your 40s or 50s. Poor diet, chronic stress, environmental toxins, and even lack of sleep all contribute to this inflammatory burden. By the time vision problems become noticeable, this inflammation has been silently damaging neural pathways for years. But here's the remarkable thing. The right anti-inflammatory compounds can begin reversing this damage almost immediately. The third nutrient is perhaps the most exciting because it actually helps your brain create new neural pathways. For decades, scientists believed that brain cells couldn't regenerate. We now know that's completely false. Given the right conditions, your brain can grow new connections throughout your entire life. This nutrient provides the building blocks for this regeneration process. It's like giving your brain the raw materials it needs to rebuild damaged highways of communication between your eyes and your visual processing centers. But here's what makes this approach so different from everything else you've probably tried. Most treatments focus on managing symptoms. This protocol addresses the root cause. Instead of just making you more comfortable with declining vision, it actually restores the underlying brain function that creates clear sight. I've now documented over 400 cases of people who've improved their vision using this brain-focused approach. Some have gone from needing reading glasses to reading fine print without assistance. Others have regained the confidence to drive at night after years of avoiding it. But perhaps most importantly, they've discovered that better vision is just the beginning. When you optimize brain health, everything improves. Memory sharpens, concentration deepens, energy increases, even mood stabilizers. Think about how vision problems have affected your life. Maybe you've stopped reading because it's too frustrating. Perhaps you avoid driving in certain conditions. You might feel less confident in social situations because you can't see faces clearly. Now imagine reversing that decline. Picture yourself reading comfortably for hours. Envision driving confidently in any conditions. Consider how it would feel to see the world with crystal clarity again. This isn't wishful thinking. This is what happens when you give your brain what it needs to process visual information efficiently. And the 3 nutrients I'm about to reveal have helped hundreds of my patients reclaim not just their vision, but their independence and confidence. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't need expensive equipment, complicated procedures, or prescription medications. You need the right nutrients in the right combinations, consumed consistently over time. But timing matters. Every day of delay means more neural connections lost, more inflammation accumulated, more circulation compromised. The sooner you start, the more dramatic your results will be. That's exactly what happened to Eleanor, a 67-year-old teacher who had given up hope of ever seeing clearly again. She'd been told her vision problems were irreversible, that she'd have to accept a life of increasing dependency on others. But within just 8 weeks of starting this protocol, Eleanor was grading papers without strain and had returned to her beloved hobby of cross-stitch embroidery. The 3 nutrients that transformed Eleanor's life, and can transform yours, work together in a way that's almost magical. But there's nothing mystical about the science behind them. It's pure biology. And it's been hiding in plain sight. The first nutrient is something you've probably heard of, but never understood its true power for brain health. Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the type found in certain seeds, provide the raw materials your brain needs to build healthy neural membranes. Think of these as the insulation around the electrical wiring in your house. Without proper insulation, signals get weak and distorted. Your brain is 60% fat, and it needs the right kinds of fats to function optimally. The omega-3s act like premium fuel for your neural networks, particularly those involved in processing visual information. But here's what most people don't know. Not all omega-3s are created equal, and the form matters just as much as the amount. The second nutrient is a powerful antioxidant compound that specifically targets brain inflammation. This isn't just any anti-inflammatory supplement. This particular nutrient has been shown in research to cross the blood-brain barrier, something many compounds cannot do. Once it reaches your brain, it begins neutralizing the inflammatory molecules that have been interfering with clear neural communication. Within weeks of starting this nutrient, patients often report that mental fog begins to lift. Colors appear more vibrant, text becomes sharper. It's like someone cleaned the windows of your mind, allowing light and clarity to flood back in. But it's the third nutrient that really astonishes people. This compound actually stimulates the production of a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists call this protein miracle grow for the brain because it literally helps grow new neural connections. When your visual processing centers start growing new pathways, something remarkable happens. Your brain begins to compensate for years of decline. New roots form around damaged areas. Fresh connections strengthen weak signals. It's like your brain builds new highways to bypass old, congested roads. The combination of these 3 nutrients creates what I call the clarity cascade. Better circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. Reduced inflammation clears the static from neural signals. New pathway growth provides alternative routes for visual information. Together, they restore the efficient processing that creates sharp, clear vision. But here's something crucial that most people miss. These nutrients must be consumed in specific forms and combinations to achieve maximum absorption. You can't just buy random supplements and hope for the best. The preparation method, timing, and ratios all matter tremendously. For instance, one of these nutrients needs to be activated through a specific preparation process that breaks down natural barriers and makes the compounds bioavailable to your brain. Another works best when combined with certain cofactors that enhance its absorption. The third requires precise timing to synchronize with your body's natural repair cycles. This is why so many people try various supplements for vision and see little improvement. They're using the right ingredients, but in the wrong forms, amounts, or combinations. It's like having all the parts to build a car, but no instruction manual. Let me give you the exact protocol that has helped hundreds of my patients reclaim their visual clarity. This isn't guesswork or theory. This is a proven system based on years of clinical experience and documented results. Start your morning with ground flax seeds, 1 tablespoon mixed into yogurt or oatmeal. Flax provides the specific type of omega-3 that your brain craves, plus compounds called lignans that support healthy blood flow to neural tissues. But the flax must be ground fresh or stored properly to maintain its potency. 3 times per week, consume sunflower seeds that have been prepared using a special soaking method. This preparation unlocks powerful antioxidants that specifically target brain inflammation. The seeds should be soaked for 2 hours, then gently dried to activate these protective compounds. Daily, take pumpkin seeds as an afternoon snack. These seeds are rich in zinc and magnesium, minerals that are essential for neural communication and the production of neurotransmitters involved in visual processing. But timing matters here too. These minerals are best absorbed when your digestive system is primed, typically mid-afternoon. The key is consistency and proper preparation. This isn't a quick fix or overnight miracle. Your brain needs time to rebuild and repair. Most patients notice initial improvements within 2 to 3 weeks, with significant changes becoming apparent by the 6th week. But here's what makes this approach so powerful. It addresses multiple aspects of brain health simultaneously. While you're improving your vision, you're also enhancing memory, sharpening focus, and boosting overall cognitive function. It's like upgrading your entire neural operating system. Maria, a 71-year-old grandmother, started this protocol because she couldn't read bedtime stories to her grandchildren anymore. The small print was impossible to see clearly, and she felt like she was losing a precious connection with the little ones she adored. After 2 months on the protocol, Maria called me in tears of joy. She had just finished reading an entire chapter book to her 5-year-old granddaughter, something she hadn't been able to do in over a year. But more than that, she felt mentally sharper, more engaged, and more like her old self again. That's the power of treating the root cause instead of just managing symptoms. When you restore proper brain function, the benefits extend far beyond just vision improvement. Now, I want to address something important. You might be wondering why your doctor hasn't told you about this approach. The truth is, most medical professionals are trained to treat diseases, not optimize function. They excel at managing serious conditions, but nutritional approaches for brain health often fall outside their training. Additionally, there's no financial incentive for pharmaceutical companies to research natural solutions. You can't patent a seed or a simple preparation method. So despite mounting scientific evidence for nutritional approaches to brain health, this information remains largely hidden from mainstream medicine. But you don't need to wait for the medical establishment to catch up. The research exists, the results are documented, and the solution is available to you right now. Your vision is your connection to the world around you. It's how you see the faces of loved ones, enjoy beautiful scenery, read important information, and maintain your independence. Every day that passes without addressing the root cause of blurry vision, more neural connections are lost. But every day you nourish your brain properly, you're investing in clearer vision, sharper thinking, and a more vibrant life. The choice is yours, and the time to act is now. Don't let another week pass struggling with blurry vision, thinking it's just part of aging. Don't accept that declining sight is inevitable. Your brain has an incredible capacity to heal and regenerate, but only if you give it the tools it needs. Start tomorrow morning with 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds in your breakfast. This simple action begins the process of restoring proper neural function. Add the other nutrients as you obtain them, building a complete protocol that addresses every aspect of brain-based vision problems. Remember, your eyes aren't the problem. Your brain is simply asking for the nutrition it needs to process visual information clearly. Listen to that request, and you may be amazed at how quickly and dramatically your world comes back into focus. If this information has opened your eyes to a new understanding of vision problems, share it with others who are struggling with similar issues. Leave a comment below about your experience with blurry vision, and consider subscribing for more insights into natural approaches to health challenges. Your clearest days may still be ahead of you, but only if you take action to make them possible.